All right, Kev, we did this little housing initiative. There's some other initiatives that are going on around the country. One of the things now, and it's going on all over the place, New York City in particular, is doing this very, I don't know what the word is, they're going real hard for this. They're bringing in people from overseas now. There's a lot of teachers in other countries that will be more than happy to work here for the salaries that they're being paid. When you see what's happening here is you're really seeing the diminishing value of the American teacher. It's an interesting situation because...
Well, no, to put a fine point on it, because of how few teachers there are, we're outsourcing education.
Well, that was the point. That's where I was going. So what's happening is because there's so few teachers out there that want to teach in this country, they're having to go overseas. But in the process of that, it changes the American education system. It's going to fundamentally change it. Kevin, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just is.
Combining with that, how we're in general like recruiting teachers from abroad, especially from like the Philippines and Japan and other places, because no one else will do it here. And on top of that, you're also seeing in places like Texas and Virginia, so a lot of the South especially, they're partnering with for-profit teacher credentialing companies like iTeach is one, or Texas Teachers of Tomorrow, I think it's another one, which actually is on probation because they're failing to create quality teachers, believe it or not.
That's right.
And I'm like, we're outsourcing education, and
that was the other,
making it so that other we have to rely on for-profit companies or teachers who just want to come to the United States because they need a new life and don't understand how bad the system is that they're coming into. So you're really diminishing the American classroom by doing this.
Right.
I'm not saying that people from abroad are bad teachers. Not at all. Many of them are
that's
amazing.
Not the case.
I've known a bunch of foreign teachers who are incredible.
Me too.
But it's the fact that we have to do it is the problem.
It is. That's what I was
saying.
The
fact that we don't understand that having to do it means that we're not making the system better.
Right. And that was the point. That's great, Kev, because that's exactly what I was saying. Because it's the idea that if you don't have the people here that want to do this, and you have to go outside to get the people to come in and educate your students, your children, there's something drastically wrong with the system that can't attract your own citizens to do this. So we're looking at a very interesting situation.
How have we not figured this out yet?
Right. And then when you talked about the idea of outsourcing, where there's you guys on LinkedIn, by the way, if you ever see these jobs, they pop up. There's jobs where you're teaching classes. You may be in South Carolina and you're teaching a class in Vermont. and it's weird, but it's happening. And this is going on all over the country because so many classrooms are devoid of a teacher. And if you take that even a step further, some schools, particularly small districts in the South, you have parents now teaching because they can't get a licensed teacher in the building. You have Florida giving military service people. Right. You have Florida giving military service people who have never taught a day in their life a teacher license just because they were in the military. Now, I'm not saying the military is bad, but that's not education. It's not it. It's a different job. And you need to train people to do a job. It's frightening to me how this country can let the public school system get to this point without actually trying to fix it and continuing to put these Band-Aids on it and just watch it just like spurt blood from its veins. I can't.
I think
anymore.
When it comes down to kind of expand on what you just said, that the issue we're running into is the fact that we are so obsessed with maintaining the status quo. We're obsessed with doing things the way we've been doing and just adding new stuff on top of it. Again, just new Band-Aids. Like, oh, this isn't working? Well, let's try this new initiative. I go, or how about you realize initiatives are not enough?
Right.
You need to completely redo the system. Because just because you can try something new doesn't mean that it's going to work. Doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity.
Einstein said it.
For some reason, we're just not embracing that. We're just embracing the notion that if we just try something new, this new thing will work. When no, the new thing needs to be get rid of the old completely.
Right.
Because
it needs an overhaul.
It's like when you play Jenga, and you take out the wooden blocks and you put a new one on top. Eventually, if you keep putting stuff on top, it's going to fall over, and that's where we are at now, where education is literally reaching a critical Jenga point where it's going to fall over.
That's a great way to put it, Kevin. A critical Jenga point.
Playing the game. Yeah, we keep playing the game, and we refuse to stop playing the game.